Ian McDiarmid, great to catch up with you again here in Germany.
It's very good to be here, yeah.
You've come to the very end of the line. I've come from Australia. We're sort of rendezvousing in the middle.
Right, yes. Well, that's great that you come from Australia. So you decided to come to Germany rather than to the United States and things like that, because it's...
Well, everywhere. Star Wars is all over the world. It's fantastic.
Well, it is universal, isn't it? And this is the first time celebrations come to this part of Europe, in the UK, obviously. And it's great, and I'm very anxious to see what the fans over here make of it. I was excited and astonished, I think, as everybody else was. But it's great that Disney are going to take it forward and do it differently, because things always have to change, and that George has released it to be done in that way, and in fact positively encouraged it, and stepped back himself. But although I'm sure he's still going to be creatively involved, it's typical of him that he'd turn it over to younger people with strong ideas. But I guess they won't deviate very much from the book, the Bible, that exists somewhere. So probably just in George's head. Everybody's excited by that.
And perhaps it doesn't have to stay on that timeline. Perhaps the spin-off movies could look at some Palpatine action.
Well, there has been talk of spin-off movies, haven't there? And there are various characters whose stories, Boba Fett's an obvious one, isn't it, could be followed. And I know there was a plan with an action television series to follow Boba Fett for a bit longer. I don't know whether that will happen or not. I suppose, although I've no real knowledge of this, but if I were running Disney Studios, I would be concentrating on the next 3 movies and making sure that they got to as many people as possible, and then other things might follow later. So we'll see.
Even though your character was the monster, he still went to the opera.
He did, and he originally wasn't going to. That scene was going to be done in the office again. It was written for the office, and George said, I think he's got to go outside. I think we've got to have a change of scenery, locale. And I was pleased about that, not least because it's very, and that's the scene where he finally, as it were, seduces Anakin to the dark side, and because I could pretend to look at the entertainment while, as it were, pouring poison into his ear out of the corner of my mouth, that was an exciting thing to play. And also I like to think that his one redeeming feature was he was a guy who liked going to the theatre. But we have to remember he only went to the theatre in order to seduce Anakin to the dark side. But it amused me, and I think it slightly amused George too, because in those days I used to run a theatre as well. And I was very excited that a man of so much power was a sponsor of the arts. There should be more of it.
And finally, fun times in Sydney when you were filming?
Oh, great time. It's a lovely time. I've got very good friends there, and I'm always looking for an excuse to come back. And my friends there say, you don't need an excuse, just get on a plane. So I might do that again quite soon. But it was great filming in Fox Studios. The crew was magnificent. We had a very good time, lots of laughs. And I'm very fond of Australia, and I took time to tour around after the movies were finished with some friends. And it's a great country.
Celebration Australia has a certain ring to it too, doesn't it?
It does, so who knows?
Ian McDiarmid, thank you so much.
Great pleasure, thank you.